Random mutations. Yes, but you're making a category mistake again. Aaron, you really need...
making a category mistake?
Aaron, no one's going to help you out here, right? Aaron,
this is not going to get any better.
Can we draw like back to that?
But Aaron, it's because you don't understand the philosophy of science.
No, I'm saying, can we draw to like the existence of God? I mean, that was...
Look,
I mean, we're just...
Question, because in the beginning what you were saying, I wanted to actually, because a lot of, I'll be honest with you, this is very technical for a lot of us, right?
Okay.
And so I want to bring it back to a point that you made, which maybe a lot of us more can relate with, which is the question of, because I saw your debate with Suboor, and it was a lot of semantics, like the question of what is a fact. Now, for the purpose of like,
did you see? When I did the debate, when I showed what the actual definitions are and how he was misusing them.
I don't think he was misusing them.
I can prove that he was, and in fact I did prove that he was.
You didn't know what a fact is. You asked Josh what a fact was just now.
Now, when in the vernacular, in the common vernacular, right, when we say the word fact, what we mean is an kind of incorrigible truth, right? Now,
a point of data that can be objectively verified.
No, not that. Okay. I'm saying because verificationism is another issue.
What else is truth then?
No, because that's we're presupposing with that verificationism. I'm not presupposing that.
I'm not going on verificationism.
Yeah.
I'm saying
so truth.
It's not a fact just because you say so. It's only a fact.
Aaron, let me ask you a question. Putting the word fact away, because I know it's a controversial word in the terminology.
It shouldn't be.
No, I know it's because we're getting confused as to in what context.
Use truth.
Science,
use truth.
In science, what? So here,
let's consider it. It's a
let's use the word truth.
Let's
use truth. Aaron, let's use truth. Let's divorce the word fact from our dictionary. Let's use the word true.
So
do you believe Darwinian evolution is true?
Like absolutely true, incorrigible.
No, true. Do you believe it's true? Yeah. It corresponds to reality.
Truth has a different implication than mere fact.
Okay, fine. So, but do you believe it's true?
The Darwinian evolution. What is Darwinian evolution?
I
would define it.
You define it.
The mechanisms that Darwin came up with in the 1800s. You define it differently than any scientist.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, that is true.
Go with your definition.
Yeah.
Is it true?
Is it true in that way?
That depends on what he means by Darwinian.
No.
Your definition. Your definition.
Okay, mine wouldn't be Darwinian.
What would it be?
Mine would just be evolution. So he mentions Darwinism and...
so you wouldn't use the word Darwinism?
No, I wouldn't.
Do you know Darwinism is an academic term?
Yes, and I know that it's only popular here. In the United States, our scientists there don't use that.
So therefore it can't be true. If it's defined two different ways, and one place is true, one place is not true.
Because Darwinism is used in the United States to conflate with a religious belief.
Oh, by the way, you know that claim you kept making that it's not true in the United States? We don't use the term Darwinism. Totally false, because Jerry Fodor is an American philosopher of science.
But Suboor, I wanted to come back to this point, because this question...
And plus, by the way, what you're trying to say is academia, because we have this massive sea across us, the UK and the USA, we somehow lose an academic term. That's total nonsense, Aaron.
I was explaining that the reason that most of our scientists have stopped using Darwinism is because it's conflated with religious...
That's not true either.
It is, and I have citations.
Can you give me the name of one American scientist who believes in biological evolution but doesn't accept the term Darwinism?
I can name several.
One.
Okay. What the... No, not plate. God, don't you hate it when the name you need is right on the top of your head? Fuck. Paleontologist... University of California. I can't remember.
And you're saying he does not accept the term Darwinism, and you're willing to say that?
He doesn't use the term Darwin. It's not that he doesn't accept it.
So he doesn't use it.
The reason that we don't in the United States is because it is being used to conflate with religious belief. So they treat Darwinism as if it is a religion. So in the United States, where this tendency is common, we stray away from that word. Just like we don't want to say that we believe that evolution is true, because believe also has been taken to mean make-believe. So we have to say we think. Aaron,
this scientist, let's just call him Mr. Gray.
But you can name
Mr. Gray.
Hang on.
All right, Mr. Gray and his caravan full of other scientists. You're telling me if they came here to Speaker's Corner, they wouldn't accept Darwinism as an academic term?
They wouldn't use the word Darwin.
No. Would they accept that it exists?
Well, they would accept
that it exists.
There you go.
That's all my point is. That's all my point is.
I don't think you had a point.
Just going back to the point, because for me... No, because what I wanted to... Which side?
So, what I would describe as evolution, right? Which He divided macroevolution and macroevolution.
I didn't make those definitions. If you remember, I said I don't believe in those.
I understand.
You don't believe in it.
He redefined them, so he put them in a different category.
And do you know evolution was used before Darwin? And I did mention that, which is why Darwinian evolution is different.
Yes, I understand that too. Irrelevant though that interjection was.
No.
So what he did is he redefined so that the macroevolution category became the Darwinian evolution.
I never heard him do that today.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, not today, in our debate.
No.
You saw
Even in the debate, one thing I made clear is I'm speaking about the academic definition of
You have
Darwinism.
to define terms.
The academic definition.
Okay, show
Because in one of your own videos, you spoke about Lamarckian evolution, right or wrong?
Yep.
You did. So Lamarckian evolution is different to Darwinian evolution, is it not? So why am I wrong for using the term Darwinian evolution?
I said that we tend not to use it in the United States for the reasons that I gave.
Okay, so tell me this.
You then,
Okay.
and that you then chose Darwinian evolution to mean not what Darwin proposed as opposed to Lamarck, and not what Darwin and not the what Darwin's mechanisms were. You used Darwinian evolution as a replacement for macroevolution.
No, I didn't.
Because you said the phylogeny.
I didn't. Look.
So you divided the process from the phylogeny. So you wanted to create an illusion that there's two different things,
wait, hang on.
which is basically the division between microevolution and
No, it's not. So look, when I gave the definition of Jerry Fodor, he said that there are twin ideas within Darwinism. One is the tree of life, one is natural selection as the driving mechanism. That's the definition I used.
to divide microevolution and macroevolution.
Not micro and macro, because Aaron, you can have
Darwinian evolution. You gave a different definition.
Aaron, look, let me ask you this question because I don't think you're getting this. If we ignore the tree of life and replace it with the web of life, you can still have macroevolution. So it's irrelevant the tree of life is there or the web of life is there or the hedge of life is there.
What is macroevolution?
Well, it can be defined in many different ways.
It
but
can be defined one way.
Not
the way.
No, wait.
And I can prove the way.
Okay.
But what do you think?
Okay, wait. If you go by one of the basic definitions of species, right? So if you say biological isolation, so there's biological isolation between this species and this species. Now, going back in their history, both of these species actually, which are geographically isolated, they can't reproduce. They go back to a common ancestor. That would be macroevolution.
The correct definition is that microevolution is variation within a species, that being the varieties within breeds.
You say macro or micro?
Micro is variation within a species, that's within a breeding population, so subspecies classifications or breeds. Macroevolution is variation between species.
That's what I just said.
At or above the species level.
That's what I just said.
Is that what you said?
He tried to go convoluted and
backwards. No, but that is what he said.
That is what I said.
Okay, so he wants... Okay.
But you being a scientific instrumentalist, you wouldn't agree with the phylogeny anyway,
So
because you believe in. But remember, a scientific instrumentalist, which you subscribe to, would say unobservable entities, structures, and processes are not speaking about truth. We have to be agnostic about them. So you're going to be agnostic about the tree anyway. So that means your phylogeny project you need to throw out. Sorry?
I think I'm kind of agnostic about everything, but I mean, we can verify.
No, I'm talking about in particular scientific instrumentalism.
We don't prove anything absolutely. But
really?
Yeah.
We don't prove anything absolutely? Do you want me to bring up your video title, Aaron? Do you want me to embarrass you right now?
What is it?
Is it about egos or is it about actually having a good discussion, man?
That's important for the fact.
It's about fact. It's about egos, man. You're saying he wants to embarrass them. He's not interested in the truth.
Generic kind of discussions.
Wait, what did the guy just say? Yeah, we don't know anything for true. Evolution is absolutely a fact. There we go.
That is
there
true.
we go.
You just contradicted yourself.
Third contradiction. Can you get that in there?
I'm a bit confused. Because
You got it, yeah?
the question is,
I want to know how he explains it.
Understanding that a fact
Listen,
is a point of
I don't mean to be rude, but I was having a conversation.
rude, man. There's a number of people.
Alright, do not. I'm sorry for being rude, but when I'm in a conversation with him, you interrupt him.
Really? I was talking to him right at the beginning, mate. So what do you
Relax. I'm not talking to him. Can you look? You're complaining about being rude, but I'm talking to him. You're interrupting me.
Bro,
I know what a fact
until they
is.
finish, and you can
take over.
It's objective.
Wait, hang on, relax. No one's talking to you, I'm talking to him. I've got a history with him.
Like, we don't know each other.
Okay, sorry, I'm wrong and I'm sorry, but you interrupted when I'm speaking to him and I got upset at that, so I'm wrong about
your position.
I apologize.
We don't need to get heated.
No, I agree, I'm wrong about that. I apologize.
Can we talk about that afterwards?
No.
Because it's not, we can talk, we can have food together if you want.
No, I was wrong because I was rude to him. I've got beef with him, not with you.
Aaron,
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
this is.
Do you accept my apology?
I think it would be more productive not on camera. You know what I mean? If you actually have good disagreements, you should go and do that. Because you guys always come into it, you know?
We've had a public debate, and it wasn't really one to one, so I'm quite interested to see what they...
Maybe we should...
It was left like...
Look, do you accept my apology?
Somebody,
Well,
some
yes.
philosopher of science who has some convoluted weird thing, the fact isn't a fact.
We can all make
But I'm
mistakes.
going with the National Academy of Science.
But I've got history
Going
with
standard definition.
I understand.
I understand that because when you go into
Maybe you'll never
a
agree,
terminological definition
you know?
of a particular field or a subfield,
We won't, but...
Maybe you don't not familiar with my ideas. My ideas are not more important than anyone else's.
Yes.
What you're not intending,
I'm interested in the utility of spiritual belief. Like I'm not out there to forcibly disprove God.
You're not saying.
I'm interested in how it can be used for good, whether it's true or not.
Something we can verify.
That's my
Can we
stance.
verify this is true?
I'm not sure what you think. I never watched it.
Well, he's an anti-theist,
I know,
right?
I know that.
So I've had a previous debate with him, and then he came to Speaker's Corner, so I thought, let me just come here as well. But I had no right to be rude, so
Like him, he wants
no
to
apologies for that.
play word games with it.
Right. So you would agree then that evolution, whether Darwinian, Neo-Lamarckian, or whatever it is not absolutely true. Then.
No, there's a huge difference. Lamarckian evolution is complete bollocks.
That's not true.
No problem.
That is totally not true. I'll tell you why.
Are you trying to misrepresent epigenetics now?
No, wait, hang on. I'll tell you why. Transformations of Lamarckism by Eva Jablonka, who's an Israeli evolutionary biologist. You need to go to her and tell her, listen, that is bollocks.
Okay, so after
Go then, get a flight to Israel and go tell her that.
Of chopping tails off of mice to see if mice are going to be born without tails, it never worked because acquired characteristics doesn't happen.
That's not only Lamarckism, by the way. It's a lot wider than that.
Okay, but Lamarckism is Lamarckism.
You said it was bollocks.
Yes. So
you need to tell those scientists.
Lamarck
and by the way, 1 second. Go to the Royal Society and tell them when you bought those guys who believe in neo-Lamarckian evolution, they were speaking bollocks. So you should have kicked them out. Because you attack philosophy of science and you attack scientists.
Lamarck taught that the way that we evolve is if you work out
giraffe, it goes higher.
Right. If the giraffe stretches its neck, the babies are going to be born with longer neck. If you work out with weights, your babies are going to be born stronger. We know that is complete bollocks. No scientist disagrees with that. Sorry, they don't.
Okay, so wait, hang on. Okay. 1 second.
I'm going to step out. Good convo.
I would like to step out because my wife called me an hour ago.
These guys
and I've been
seal out.
hung at this guy getting assaulted.
Let's wrap up this
So
discussion.
go back and watch the debate. He defined it wrong on purpose because it wasn't
But
some
I've heard him
argument.
quote,
and that's how I won.
But as a layperson, I've heard him quote several sources. I can watch this back. I
Did
can
you
check
catch?
it out.
Did you catch
I
when
haven't
the girl?
heard you quote anyone.
Did you? Yeah, I didn't have to.
You said
I
you knew
did
several
cite.
people. You said I can cite several people, and then you went blah 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 blah. I can't remember what's that guy in Princeton.
Yeah, I can't.
All the best,
Okay, but you will do it on your YouTube channel.
Would you like me to prove it to you?
No, I would deal with the expert. I'm not an expert. He is.
No hard feelings.
I think
I'm not
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sorry. You are not an honest person. That's the way I read you.
So where did I
Why?
lie?
Because he beat you again.
Beat
He
me?
beat. That's 2-0. Suboor.
Excuse me.
2-0.
That's
one in America.
That
One
stilled
here.
me. Okay,
You
he
haven't
lost
proven
that
any,
debate.
You haven't proven anything. You lost in your hometown in America.
Did you see?
Now
You saw
lost
the
in
debate. You
Speaker's
watched
Corner.
it twice, right?
Yes.
Did you see in the halftime when the girl comes up to me to talk about how her professor was a guy he cited and that he
was
cited
one
that
on your
professor?
channel.
Yeah, so why didn't that person
Again?
contact me? And that video's got over 100,000 views.
Yeah.
So why didn't the
I don't know
person
why
contact?
that person
So why didn't you
didn't
contact
me?
her and tell her to
But you
contact
were
me?
wrong.
And
Nonetheless.
here's his reference. The only reference he gave. A student of a professor who is unnamed.
Except that
I'm a
also,
layperson.
Which
I
professor?
put up the National Academy of
Aaron,
Science, right?
We do.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go on.
Did you see my citation on the screen of the National Academy of Science declaring that evolution is a fact? Right? National Academy of Science says evolution is a fact. Right.
He's
done.
done. He's done.
Won. Me.
You won. You honestly think you won?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. He had to redefine
What does delusion
everything.
mean? Do you know what delusion means?
It's almost religion. That's
You need to actually understand.
Darwinism is religion.
that's when you refuse.
You need to go back to Equatorius.
Hang on.
That's when you refuse to admit
That's harsh.
that a belief.